she can't really explain what they were. It wasn't a relationship, but it wasn't nothing either. They talked every day for months. They shared playlists, late-night thoughts, dreams, insecurities. He knew her favorite coffee order, her worst day at work, the name of the dog she wanted someday. He made her laugh in the kind of way that feels rare, effortless. And then one day he was gone. No fight, no ending, just silence. And the strange part, she still doesn't know what to call the grief. Because how do you mourn something that was never official? You can't even say breakup because that word belongs to people who had titles. You just call it complicated and pretend you're over it. According to the American Psychological Association, 2022, people form emotional bonds through micro-rituals, repeated communication, consistent attention, and shared emotional space. That's what builds attachment chemistry even without physical intimacy or formal commitment. So yes, it was real, even if it wasn't labeled. Have you ever noticed how the hardest goodbyes are the ones that were never said? Try this. Think about the last time someone quietly faded from your life. What hurt more, their absence or the fact that you never got closure? That's what she carries. Not just the loss of him, but the loss of possibility, the almost. And that's the hardest part of almost relationships. They teach you what love could feel like without giving you the safety of calling it love. It's emotional limbo where hope feels both rational and foolish at the same time. Now she doesn't call it heartbreak, she calls it data. A lesson about how easy it is to confuse connection with consistency. He never promised her anything, and somehow that makes it worse. Because you can't hold someone accountable for what they never said. He didn't say, "I'll stay." He just acted like he would. He sent good morning texts, remembered details, shared secrets. All the things that look like intention but sound like noise when they stop. The APA's 2021 report on emotional ambiguity explains that ambiguous loss, grieving something undefined, can be more psychologically distressing than a clear ending. Because the brain craves narrative, we need beginnings and endings to process emotion. When we don't get them, we loop. She loops. Replays messages, wonders if she misread the tone, rewrites her own memories trying to locate what went wrong. Have you ever done that? Opened an old chat just to feel close again, not to the person, but to the version of yourself that still believed in it? Try this instead of rereading, rewrite. Write what you wish you could have said, not to him, but to yourself. Because what she's really trying to do isn't get him back, it's to get her clarity back. Almost relationships blur that line between fantasy and memory, closure and curiosity. And she realizes, in hindsight, that what hurt most wasn't losing him, it was realizing she built an entire emotional home on assumptions. She was loyal to potential, faithful to maybe. Now, every time she hears we're not really dating, she feels it like a warning, because she knows what it means to give someone girlfriend energy without the girlfriend title. It's the same as handing someone your favorite book and watching them dog-ear every page, then leave without finishing it. She's not bitter, she's just awake. Almost relationships are built on crumbs, small gestures that feel like meals when you're starving for connection. He liked her story. He said goodnight. He sent a playlist. Tiny validations that her brain interpreted as commitment. The APA's 2020 guidelines on digital attachment found that dopamine release from consistent texting mirrors early romantic stimulation, even without physical closeness. That's why it feels like falling in love. Because chemically it is, but what nobody teaches women is how dangerous emotional exclusivity becomes when it's one-sided. She was loyal to someone who was simply present, not invested, not cruel, just inconsistent. That's the psychology of the almost. It's not toxic. It's intermittent reinforcement, attention given inconsistently enough to confuse the brain into chasing it harder. She wasn't addicted to him. She was addicted to the uncertainty. And when it ended, she mistook silence for reflection when it was really just indifference. Have you ever been there? The ache that follows isn't from losing the person, it's from losing the hope they represented. Try this next time you feel tempted to check if they've viewed your story. Don't ask yourself, would I want someone who's at peace watching me wait? Because that's what she's done. She stopped refreshing the chat, stopped decoding silence, stopped confusing effort with emotion. And when she finally deleted the thread, it didn't feel like losing him. It felt like finding herself again. Now, when she looks back, she doesn't blame him. She studies herself. She wonders why she felt so seen by someone who barely showed up, why she mistook minimal effort for compatibility. And the answer is simple, because for once she felt chosen, even if it was temporary. The University of Michigan 2022 research on romantic ambiguity and self-esteem found that people in undefined relationships often report heightened validation dependency, meaning their self-worth temporarily attaches to attention consistency. That's what happened to her. She stopped asking, "What do I want?" and started asking, "What does he want from me?" But awareness changes everything. Now she notices red flags that used to look like connection. She notices how fast people fall in love in text but disappear in real life. How much modern affection is just projection with Wi-Fi. She doesn't romanticize the almost anymore. She analyzes it, and that's growth. Have you ever noticed how the people who make you question your worth are rarely the ones who deserve it? Try this, write down what you learned from your almost, not what you lost. It shifts grief into gratitude. Because what she sees clearly now is this: he didn't waste her time, he taught her her threshold. He showed her what effort looks like when it's not real, and that's how she learned to spot when it is. Now, when someone asks about him, she doesn't sigh, she smiles. Not the nostalgic kind, the knowing kind. Because she finally understands the difference between chemistry and compatibility, between connection and commitment, between being almost loved and being actually chosen. The APA's 2020 report on emotional maturity defines closure as the ability to stop seeking resolution from sources that withhold it. That's her now. She doesn't need an ending text. She doesn't need an apology. She doesn't even need acknowledgement. She just needs peace. And peace doesn't come when someone replies, it comes when you stop waiting for them to. Have you ever realized how freeing it feels to unlearn the habit of waiting? Try this. Close your eyes and think of the person you never officially dated. Now, forgive yourself for the love you gave without label. That wasn't weakness, it was honesty. And that's something they'll never forget. She's not bitter, she's grateful. Because almost relationships may not last, but they leave clarity, the kind you can't buy, can't fake, and can't rush. She doesn't hate that it didn't become love. She just appreciates that it taught her what she actually wants from it next time. Maybe she's not the girl who waits for replies anymore. Maybe she's the woman who writes the ending herself. Maybe she's not stuck in the almost, maybe she's finally in the after. And maybe that's where healing begins.